the Strapper, probably as well known and well loved as any painting by the late Sir William Dobell, and these days worth a fortune, as much as $70,000 perhaps. Who is or was the Strapper? James Gleeson, in his authoritative book about the late Sir William, maintains that the model was a student, or certainly a visitor, to the East Sydney Technical College where Sir William was teaching in those days. That's 1941 when this painting was done. Until today, nobody's contested this, not because it could be proved, but because there was no evidence to the contrary. Now there is. Mr. Ronald Davies of Awabba says that he's the Strapper and that he is the model made famous by the late Sir William. This is the Strapper. And this is Mr. Davies. Tell me, Mr. Davies, when did you pose for this?
In 1941, Mr. Masterson.
Where?
On Mallee Station, Aberdeen, out from Aberdeen.
What were you doing up there then?
I was working as a station hand, or strapper as we were known then.
Well, more to the point, what was Sir William doing up there then?
Well, he used to come up for a few days for a break from city life, I suppose, or something like that, for the bush.
Did you
sketching?
Did you know him?
Not personally, but I had met him on the station where I was working.
How long had you been there?
I'd been there about 12 months.
Well, you must have been a pretty young fellow in those days.
Yes, I was about 16.
Well, can you see any likeness now?
Well, slightly, yes. I've got a bit older, but...
Come in a bit closer and stand right next to it, and then both look at the camera. Look at the camera the way the painting is, and let everybody else see the similarity.
Yes, my hair hasn't changed colour.
What sort of sketch did Sir William do? He obviously didn't sit down and paint the whole thing there and then.
He only did a pencil sketch, Mr. Masterson.
How long did that take him?
About 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Just the one sitting?
Just the one sitting, yes.
Were you standing up or sitting down, or...?
If I can remember rightly, I was sitting on a box.
What, much the same as the painting here?
Much the same as the painting there, yes.
Do you have a coat on?
Yes.
You haven't seen the completed painting until now, though?
Not till now, no. Only in photos or on television or something like that.
Did you see anything of Sir William after the initial painting?
No, I hadn't.
Sketch?
I was going to see him 3 or 4 times, but then you sort of put these things off, and I never did. I'm sorry now that I didn't.
In spite of the fact you live sort of round the corner?
I did, yes, only a few miles away.
Do you think he knew you lived there?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think he even knew who you were?
No, I don't think. He would have known if I'd gone and made myself known, I think. But that I never did, and I'm sorry that I didn't.
And how long were you in business sort of as a strapper after that?
Oh, let's see, about 15 years, 15, 20 years.
And you've lived in Newcastle since then, have you?
15 years, district.
Well, you see the painting now.
Yes.
You think it still looks like it?
I think so. Going back on old photos, it does, yes. Yes.
Were you ever that thin?
I was, yes.
It's quite a good likeness, then.
I had an ambition to be a jockey.
Well, one other thing, no. It's been suggested that if you were the strapper, there might have been other people. Could you see anything here that you'd say, well, you know, they're not my eyes or they're not my ears or something, which would imply that maybe he used other models as well?
Well, he could have, but I couldn't say so.
You say 1 10-minute sketch was all that he spent with you?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
look
so
against the painting again, and we'll have a last look. Until now, people have believed the model for the strapper came from East Sydney Tech. Mr. Davies thinks otherwise. Comparing the two, you can make up your own mind.
Lake Macquarie, or as it's sometimes known, Newcastle's playground. The lake is reputed to be one of the most beautiful spots for miles around, and that's certainly true if you look at it from a distance or from a height as we are here. But for people who are living on the eastern shore of the lake, it's a different matter. The beauty of it has worn off to some degree. The lake, or the trouble with the lake, is that it smells. The dying seaweed is blown up onto the eastern shores and lies there rotting. The resultant smell, particularly with a westerly wind, is far from pleasant, as people who live in the area will agree. Well, does it smell bad all the time? Or?
Oh, it's a few days now, about, no, 4 days now.
And how bad has it been?
Oh, very bad.
Do people who come to your shop, do they complain about it?
Oh, yeah.
But now, how bad is the smell from your point of view?
Well, it's really terrible. The dead seaweed, and every time we get a southerly, the stench nearly knocks you out of the house.
Is this the worst it's been for a
Yes,
while?
and it's not only that, it's the black mud that is accumulating. See, they dump all the rubbish from the highway onto the lake, and it washes in with all the rain, and that is causing the slime, the mud to lay there and cause this terrible stench.
Do any of your friends who come here comment on the smell?
Oh yes, I used to have a lot of friends come through from Brisbane years ago and used to holiday over here. They don't come anymore, they get bypass it.
And how long have you lived here?
Nearly 17 years. That's my daughter, and I live with her.
Is this as bad as it's ever been, or what?
Oh, it's worse. It's never been like this. They used to picnic round the front of the lake and stay there overnight and enjoy the fishing and the swimming, but there's nothing like that now. That's all gone away. With these Sweden, that is terrific, and the smell is disgusting.
I think it's much worse when they've got a southerly blowing and the tide is low and the lake's right down low, as it has been over the past couple of days. And this makes quite a smell coming across. It drifts into your home and it makes it very unpleasant.
Is it a hard smell to get rid of from your home?
It'll go when the wind goes.
Well, in your 20 years on the lake, has it ever been as bad as this?
No, never. It's really a health hazard at the moment, and it's not really a tourist attraction at the moment either. Neither the highway nor the waterfront entices the tourists as they naturally would come, if it was much better. It's really a pity to see such a natural spot being spoiled, But it could be improved very much more. And not only that, it's bad for business from a business point of view too.
Well, how has this affected you, the smell off the lake?
Meston's my name. I live down here. I've been coming here though for 27 years. And I'm one of the council rangers here, appointed by the Shire, Lake Macquarie Shire, one of 3 rangers. And
Well, what can be done about it?
well, this Progress Association that I'm a member of with Mr. Bullerwell, we've got in touch with different bodies here to try and get work done with the dredging. But the council have told us that they can do no more.
Why not?
They said they can't do any more. They can't do anything, they said.
Well, whose responsibility is it then?
Well, it's the responsibility of 5 boards. The Marine Board, the Department of Fisheries, the Navigation Board, Customs. There's 5 different boards control it, and one's pushing it off onto the other.
So you think there's a lot of buck passing going on?
It's a lot of buck passing, yes.
What do you hope to see done then?
Well, we want to get a bulldozer in here at low tide, one with a snorkel that can operate in a couple of feet of water that they have available, and get it to push the weed out here and reclaim so many feet from the shore out. The dredge that was allocated to come here has gone to the Macleay River, bypassed here. It was to come here. Charlie Hollis got in touch with them around here at the drop over. A boat with more than 3 feet of water can't get through the drop over. It's got to be pulled sideways, round by Mark's Point, round where my yacht is.
Well, this lake as it is now, has it been as bad as this for a while or what?
It's gradually got worse over
Why?
the years, and at the present time there's mud 6 inches deep out here, worse than in a pigsty, and the only access people can get with their boats is to clear a track with a rake and go out at high tide, which we call high tide. It's only about a foot of water.
Mrs. Bulwell, what's your main concern with the problem here?
Oh, well, just to get it cleaned up, the smell mostly.
Does it really bother you?
Oh, yes. I live in the next block and the smell comes around. You can taste it in your food or anything when you're eating.
Of course, right into
Yes, and I mean, the people along the waterfront along here must be sick.
This channel was dug to enable a local boating man to get out to his boat on the lake. He has to wade through ankle-deep mud to get to it, which smells, to say the least. On the foreshores itself, they're littered with glass and bottles and seaweed, which is drying out. Even the birds can barely walk along here. And right on the edge, of course, is the material left over from making roads, which doesn't look the best along the lake. And the smell, to say the least, is slightly unbelievable.